Alright, we're back on our Mustang. What happened here is we went and had all the bolt-on parts blasted. Now we had these dustless blasted, which is a wet blasting type of paint removal. And the key to having that done is finding a guy that can do it, that you can trust, that will not warp your parts or ruin them. So the guy that did this for us is right here in Moab. His name is Steve. I call him Sandblast Steve. And anybody that lives in the western slope area of Colorado or Utah can give Steve a call if you're interested in getting something blasted, paint removal, or any type of blasting whatsoever. He does walnut shell blasting, he does soda blasting, he does dustless blasting, and of course sand blasting to anything and everything that you need set blasted. And you can see his number right there. Give him a call. He's in Moab, Utah. He travels the western slope. He's got a portable machine and can hook you up and do the right job that needs to be done. So back to the situation here. We had all this blasted, and I want to go over this deck lid first. When you are looking for parts online and you are looking on eBay, this is what you get. I believe the owner paid $400 for this factory OEM deck lid. You can see how dented it is. It's just torn to shit. Dents and damage from hell. When we got this deck lid, of course it had paint on it. When we blasted it, this is what we found. And I want you to look at this edge right here. You can see that. Look at this corner. All right. And then all the way across the back lip. Look at right here. This was full of Bondo. This was full of Bondo. Looks like it got rear-ended at one time. All right. So this isn't the worst of it. I can't even recognize. I guess I can if I study where the emblems go that says Mustang. But this is an OEM factory deck lid that takes the chrome trim. You got to have that if you're going to make a factory original car. And also the emblems. Yeah, $400 people. But that's not the worst of it. Let's go ahead and look on the inside of the trunk. And you can see where this has been rotten and rusting for a very long time. This is your common rusted out area on a Mustang deck lid. And I mean, you know, it's just treacherous and horrendous what's going on here. Like I said, he paid $400, and it's just a shame that this has happened. So if you are looking to buy something on eBay, beware, okay? Beware that 99.9% of all body parts that you buy on eBay are Bondo-filled, rusted parts. Now, many moons ago, we actually had these parts sandblasted, and I forgot to epoxy prime them, so I had to have these redone. This is the hinge and the glove box. These are brackets that actually go onto this piece. This is a factory original piece, by the way, to let everybody know. And we will be straightening this, hammering down and fixing it, because this piece will line up perfect on the ends over here, where the aftermarket ones leave a big giant gap and look like shit. The fenders he purchased from another party. They're excellent fenders. They're factory original fenders. They got minimal damage. I believe there's some dents on the top of one of them, but the other one is in super clean shape. I went ahead and prepped and epoxy primed those. We also got the headlight buckets left and right. You can see that. Those were part of the deal of buying the fenders. I believe he paid $500 for those. Complete and well worth the money, because these fenders fit excellent and work great. While I was at it yesterday, I went ahead and painted the inside of the fenders black with some alkyd enamel. I put 2 full wet coats on it, and they are now prepped and painted and done and rust free, ready to go have fun and drive your car situation. And then if we look at the left door, that's our infamous piece of shit, never fit door action. You can see it fits really, really well now. I got the gap looking 95%, or should I say, yeah, 95% factory original and 80% better than what we started with 8 years ago. That was a very big job, people, right there. Okay, the bottom of the car, the bottom of the door too. Where's it at? There it is. The bottom of the door too. I had to fix that. So that was a very big job. We got it done. We went and had the door blasted. It does have some minor rust on the inside. Right here, you can see it right there. Once we do all the body work on the outside of the vehicle, we will then proceed to do the bodywork prep on the inside of the doors. So I got everything hung. I got the 2 doors hung, and what I was in the process of doing, I'm going to hang all the body parts back on the car, because when we're doing body work, especially on a job like this, we got to make sure that all the body parts are on the vehicle. We have to do the body work with the vehicle in 100% accurization of being complete, you might say. So we will bolt all the body parts back onto the vehicle. That's what I was in the process of doing. I got to get the fenders on there. Now you can also see one thing, and this is from the situation we had with the door. This is a problem we had with the door, and the only thing that I can figure out why this door gave us so many problems, and this left side of this fucking car gave us so many problems, is this right here. This car got extremely T-boned, and the owner supplied this piece right here, the A-pillar, and I believe that is off a 67 down Mustang. It is not off a 68. I will go ahead and mention one more time. A 1968 Mustang is a 1-year door situation. 69 or 67 does not fit properly. You have to have that. And this right here is a big key to opening the door and making sure that it works properly. So I'm thinking that is where the problem lies. If you've been watching this video set from day one, you will know that I've done everything in my power to get that door to look, feel, and close just like factory.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
So a lot of the work has been done to the car, and everything's been coming out really, really nice as far as the car goes. Parts have been lining up, and we have taken the fenders and the hoods and everything off. I don't know how many times, several times, but what we're doing, again, we're installing the body parts so we can do the body work. And that's very important to make sure that you do the right restoration to do the job properly. Now, I'm not going to put every single bolt in this car. I'm just going to put several bolts, you might say, just to get it started. Should I say to get it bolted on? We don't need every single bolt on the fender to line it up. All we need is the pinpoint marks of lining the fender up and making sure that it works properly so we can do the body work and everything will line up right. Alright, so we got the right fender actually bolted to the vehicle, and here's a good issue. Now, we are working on an old car. This car has used parts and new parts. We're talking about that quarter panel. So this is the reason why you bolt everything to the vehicle when you are doing a job like this, especially for body work. If we look down this body line, look at this. Can you see that? Okay, are you watching this? Look at this right here. This was all rotted out. This was all ripped and torn. I had to rebuild this corner. So now we have got to match the body work to make everything level and flush mounted so it'll all work. So I'll go ahead and finish putting the body parts on. This is going to take a couple more hours. We will not be putting the deck lid on. We got body work to do around the deck lid itself where we installed our quarter panels. And you can see right here what we're talking about. We got to get all this cleaned up. We got to get all this seam sealed inside here and make sure that everything's proper. And to be honest with you, more than likely, we are going to go ahead and buy a brand new deck lid. There's a company called Muscle Car GT that actually has the factory molds, and you got to pay extra for these parts, but it doesn't matter because we need the part and we're probably going to be getting a brand new one. Okay, what we're doing, we're actually starting the body work on our Mustang, our Frankenstein, and we just ran into a situation here. I was grinding the Bondo out. I got to get all this Bondo, this old Bondo off of here. Okay, wow, that really lined our fender up. It had a lot of Bondo on here. This door was full of Bondo, and it was making the door stick out past the fender. Once I removed all this Bondo, the door actually looks really, really like it lines up pretty nice with fender. Of course, we're going to have to still do some body work to it, but it lines up 100% better. The problem that we have, though, let me go ahead and show you. If we take a gander inside, kind of creep around in there, I want to see if I can zoom in. I want everybody to take a look at that door skin. You can see right here, this door skin has basically, from whatever type of accident this thing was in, it has separated from the shell. So we're going to have to go ahead and remove, and we also have rust that we got to fix. So we need to take this fender back off. We're going to go ahead and remove this fender, and then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and remove that door, and we're going to have to fix this rust. You can kind of read the road map here where this car got T-boned in this section. You can see where they used a slide hammer to pull the dents out, and then they just bonded it up. And there's another hole here, there's another one right there. Here's another one, there's one right there, and I'm sure these are holes right here as well. So I'm going to get the door off, and then we're going to go ahead and fix this. And this is the Mustang. You can already see where I've done body work to the bottom of this fender. There was rust on the fender, and then we had to weld up all of the emblem holes. We welded those up because this is GT, and the emblem that goes on here is a GT emblem only. So we had to get rid of the Mustang, the Mustang emblems, which are the letters, and then of course the Mustang horse. Alright, we just got done cutting the rust out. You can see that we got some heavy surface rust on the inside of this door. And on doors themselves, this is where all the muck and the deterioration and the debris and everything else collects. This is where it collects. That's why these doors always rust in this area right here. Now the way that I cut that out, I went ahead and cut out the skin of the door itself that rolls around. You see how I did that? So what I'll do is I will fold these edges out, and then I will make a piece that fits right in there. Alright, I'll make a piece that fits right in here just like that, and then we will weld it on, and then I will roll it around to make the door skin look all factory original. Alright, I went ahead and treated the rust with some Permatex rust treatment, and I'm going to show you that because we're going to go ahead and spray some more on there. And what this does, this actually kills the rust. This will kill the rust, and it will turn it into a black primer. And then once I get done, I will spray some down inside the door to get that edge. So if you got some rust issues like this right here, this is the best thing I found. It's called Permatex rust treatment, and you can get that over at Napa Auto Parts is where I buy it. Really, really good stuff and works excellent. Been using it for 40 years. So now that that's done, we went ahead and cut our piece out, and when I lay it on here, you can see it fits really, really nice, and it's going to work really good. You can also see that I cut it, oversized cut it, and that's because what I want to do, I'm going to roll the edge. I'm going to roll the edge around. And I like to use a flashlight. One thing that I am going to do, I'm going to go over there to my anvil, and I'm going to put a curve on this because this is actually curved. It's not flat. So let me go do that. I'll be right back. Okay, that'll work out a lot better. I went ahead and put a curve on it, and you can see now it actually fits in there better. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start welding this by tack welding it. And then what I do when I weld this on here, I take a sponge, and what that does, I got it in water and I just rinse the sponge off, and what that does is after I do a few welds, I'll hit those welds with a sponge, and that keeps it from warping. Alright, we don't want it to warp or shrink or drop or stretch or whatever might happen. So I just noticed right here that our metal actually shrunk down. And we have to get that back up. So what I'm doing, I am going to go like this, right there, and then I will line that up. And spot weld that back on there. And what happened, what I should have done, and I wasn't thinking, you do a couple welds over here, then you'll do a couple welds here, then you'll do a couple more here, and you just work your way into the corner. And what I did, and I'm glad I kind of did that to show you, I went ahead and welded this side up first, completely, and then that's what will happen if you don't crisscross your welds and do like I just said, back and forth. One of the walls will shrink on you, or should I say sag. Okay, we got that all welded up. I'm going to go ahead and clean the weld up. We're going to flip the door over, and then I'm going to finish this repair, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Very, very simple, very easy, and I mean, you know, I do have some holes in this area right here that I have to weld up. That was from a slide hammer. Let me show you how I'm going to do that real quick. Since these holes are full of Bondo, what I do is I take a drill and I'll drill them out. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm finding my holes. Here's another one. Here's one right here. Alright, so we got all them holes, and I don't know if there's one right here. No, that's not a hole. Okay, I'm thinking this is all there is right here. I'll double check to make sure. But then after I do that, the next thing I do is I basically, and I'll go ahead and show you real quick, I just weld them up just like this. And what you're going to run into, what you just saw, is these slide hammer holes. What's going to happen is the metal is really thin around it from all the grinding and the pulling of the slide hammer. So you got to be really, really careful, because the hole will literally get bigger as you're welding it. This isn't like an emblem hole. This is totally different. So you have to have your heat down low and use 023 or less wire. So these holes here are a little bit harder to weld up than emblem holes. And then once you get it welded up, then you can get closer. Like that right there. So welding up these little slide hammer holes is a real pain in the ass. Alright, now that we're done with the front of the door, let's flip it over so we can finish this out. And I'm glad this thing is, look at that. There's even rat shit inside the door. Rat shit in the door. Rats were living in the door. Great. But I will say, one reason rats are living in that door, or were living in the door, because the car sat at my old shop in Dallas for approximately 6 years before we started working back on it. Go figure. So what we'll do to finish this out, we're going to go ahead and measure our lip, and it comes out to be a little over 3/8. So in between 1/2 inch and 3/8, however many 1/16 that is. So we're going to start out by cutting this out. Okay, now that we cut it down to size where we want it, what we're going to do, we're going to start rolling it. And what I like to do is I like to take a dolly and put it underneath and just start rolling it around. Just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and cut this off. That's going to be kind of a rounded edge right there. Then I'll go ahead and repeat my process. I'm going to put my dolly up here just to start out with. We'll go ahead and round this off. I'll clean this up. And then I'm going to have to put some weld here. I'll spot weld it here. And then I'll put one spot weld right here where there was one. And I think we'll be done. Okay, it looks really, really nice. We got her done and everything is back in connection where we can use this door again. You can see where we fixed it on the front side. We rolled the edges over and we made it look just like factory. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete, fixing doors on rusted cars. And we still got rust to fix right here. I'm going to go ahead and fix that. You can see it right here. So I still got some rust to fix on this door, but we got to get back on the Mustang. The Mustang has got to get out of here and leave my shop. This Frankenstein of a car is really starting to get on my fucking nerves. Really, really is.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.